Okay, so let's start with this idea of how do you write something valuable? Like, let's unbundle the word valuable. What does that actually mean? And I think a lot of times, because I've mentored tens of thousands of writers at this point, and I've shared, I mean, who knows how many writing frameworks on the internet. And you know, I've really learned like, okay, we could spend time here talking about all of the minutia. We could go sentence by sentence. Is this a good sentence? Is this a good adjective? Is this a good noun? Is this a good opener? Is this a good closer? But the reality is all of those little decisions actually pale in comparison to the much more important and bigger decisions, which is how do I actually write something valuable in the first place? And then you can debate the subjectivity of do you like the way that it's written, or do you like a certain sentence, or do you like that word choice? And I find that oftentimes writers get really lost in hyper focusing on all the minutia, and they lose sight of the much more important thing, which is how do I just make sure that I'm delivering something valuable to the reader in the first place? And so I want to walk through this sort of framework that I developed for myself, especially with nonfiction. These are things that took me a long time to understand. Like when you're writing nonfiction, what game are you actually playing? What is the relationship that you have with the reader, and how do you deliver on that relationship? And over the years, I feel like the more I write nonfiction, the more I take my learnings and I try and simplify them even more, simplify them even more. And after a decade of writing nonfiction, I've really identified that at its core, nonfiction writing is about three things. You can debate the subjectivity of a sentence, a paragraph, an opener all day long, okay? But the thing that is really important with nonfiction is that you are saying something different, which I will walk through how to unbundle that word and how to think about that. You're saying something valuable, we'll unbundle that word, and saying something actionable. This is a really important one, and we will unbundle that word, okay?